All right. Welcome to Gen X Rated Thursday edition. How we doing, Billy?
Oh, good. Back at it again.
Back at it again. Seems like it was just a day or two ago,
Yeah.
but here we are. Um, yeah, I don't even really know what to say about the continuance of this man and his regime. It just goes on and on and on. We're going to bomb the crap out of Iran. Then we're not going to bomb the crap out of Iran.
Taco.
Uh, the Iranians say they don't have any idea what he's talking about.
I'm just going to take a shit right here.
Shit eating grin, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and I don't even know if it's about market manipulation anymore. It just seems like, of course, that's part of it. They're going to make money, but just seems like extending the long game, right? The more they ruin shit, the longer they can continue to ruin shit.
Well, I don't know for a fact, but my guess would just be he doesn't know how to get out. He has no idea how he's going to get himself out of this corner he's painted himself into, and the rest of us. So he just kind of goes back and forth, going to bob the crap out of him. You know what? They're accepting talks, so we're not going to bob. But are they really accepting talks?
Are they even having talks?
Yeah.
Who's he talking to? Oh, it was that guy, and then we blew all them up, and then the other guy, and then we blew them up, and it's just nonsense. I mean, I feel like maybe it's the Truman Show where he's just in one room doing all this shit. You know what I mean? Like, just seems made up. He's not dealing with anybody in actual reality, especially when it comes to this war or excursion or whatever you want to discountingly call this situation we're all doing.
Well, that's actually a pretty good analogy. I think his whole life he's felt like he's the Truman Show. Like he's just the one star in this one man show, and we're all just, a cast of extras here for him. Camera's always on Trump. It's always about Trump. Feels like he's lived his whole life that way, and that's exactly how he runs this regime.
And you saw it at the Garden the other night, the Knicks losing when Trump fell asleep. Of course, he was gone by the 7 minutes left in the game, but the point is, they came out last night's game, and you knew the taint of Trump was still there because they were down by 29 points at one point.
Mm-hmm.
The good news for Knicks fans, Wu-Tang came out at halftime, and they came back and won that game, which was insane.
Greatest comeback in NBA history.
That's right. And I have nothing against the Knicks. I certainly don't like their ownership, and I think he's a pig, much like Trump. That Dolan guy's no saint. But it took a while for them to shake off the taint of Trump's visit.
Yeah, it really did.
It's going to take us longer, I think.
Wash off that stench.
And it just comes from a point of lack of education with this guy. I mean, he's getting way too much airtime, as we talked about. You said the other day you're sick of hearing him, seeing him, constantly. It's not just nonstop bombardment with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he just talks nonsense. As an example, talking about Canada, how not only this war is not a war, but we don't need the Canadians. What do they do for us? We don't need anybody. And it turns out, we do need Canada. We import a ton of stuff from our neighbors from the north who we love. 85% of potash, 60% of our oil, 50% of our aluminum, 33% of uranium, 30% of softwood lumber. This guy's in construction. He doesn't know any of this stuff. I mean, it's just pure ignorance, but it's dangerous. When it comes to war and how he's running this government. It's crazy.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
He's a bit of a nightmare. Some of the positives, aside from Trump, solar generated more energy in the U.S. than coal for the first time ever. Sure, Trump hates solar. He's never heard of batteries unless they're on a boat and you have to choose between getting shocked by a battery or eaten by a shark. That's classic. But again, this is a man that's seeing 22 specialists. How healthy could he be?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I wish that shadow of the Grim Reaper that's, hovering over his shoulder would just get a little bit closer.
Well, yes, that would be great. The interesting part with his health is that 59% feel like he's not fit. And that's across the board. So if you're talking about 6 out of 10 people don't think he's fit, why is he still here? Is it because J.D. Vance is a terrible alternative and everybody can't stand him as well?
Yeah, that could be. I think they're afraid they'll lose their base without Trump. Honestly, I think JD would like to see him go because then he slides right in.
JD's chief of staff just resigned today.
I saw that. Interesting.
A lot of speculation. It's because his numbers, as far as running in the next election, are tanking. He's very disliked by many.
Hard guy to like.
Hard guy to like. Yeah. So I don't know that he'll be the next guy. For all we know, Duffy will step up, right? I mean, handsome, debonair. I mean,
Grifter.
Bit of a grifter. Speaking of which, I'm going to put him up here because his son-in-law's eyebrows are so queer. I don't really get it. They're very accented. But Duffy was a congressperson in Wisconsin, and his seat is open, and he's trying to get his son-in-law into that seat. It's upsetting a lot of people that he's using his power as a cabinet member to appoint his son-in-law to the Wisconsin seat. A lot of people that are donating to this kid have ties to transportation. Wow.
Well, what are the odds of that?
That's pretty crazy. This kid's not attending any of the debates that the other people are participating in order to get people's vote. I guess he doesn't feel like he has to do that. Now, his background is construction and podcasting, so you might get tapped next, Billy. Who knows? Am I right?
Could be. Done a little bit of both.
And again, we have nepotism. We have somebody that's not qualified, and we just want to appoint them because I don't know, because I'm wealthy, I'm connected, I know people. What
Exactly. Yeah. More cronyism, corruption, bribery.
Sounds like a DEI hire to me.
Yeah, does sound like a DEI hire. Absolutely. But when they do it, it's just politics.
It's just politics. He's a good kid, and I'd like to know his stylist because those
very styling. Those brows are to die for.
Yeah, pretty crazy. But that's kind of where we live. I mean, you just can't even make this stuff up. I'm going to put up this picture of the Lincoln reflecting pool. So much time went into this. We're going to change the color. It's going to be so amazing. We talked about this in the past. There are reasons why they had it the color they had it, to not create any extra heat that's going to form algae in the water. I think they just filled up the reservoir yesterday. By this morning, they already had algae around the edges. So Trump got his pool guy out there, who I don't even know him, but one of the best pool guys, literally vacuuming it up. And it's like, are we going to do this every day? Like, I don't understand. It cost a lot of money. Now algae's accumulating quicker than ever based on his choice of flag blue. I'm sure he was told about this, but
I'm sure
he doesn't really care. He wants what he wants. This whole system is going to take, a water filtration system and chemicals. It might as well be a pool. Thank you. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Just what we needed. I will point out that this man of wonder when it comes to construction, the Trump arch, apparently he said, construction will run 20 hours a day for 2 or 3 years to get that done. Could you imagine that in your backyard?
Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't like neighbors cutting their grass before 9 a.m.
I don't see that going through. I think that's going to be stopped by the courts at some point. That's insanity.
I really hope so. You just can't make it up. But again, we're at war. He's not aware, and we're dealing with the reflecting pool. The World War II museum will be next because that place is a travesty. Yeah, so unserious, as you always say.
Mm-hmm.
All of this is happening, and he was saying yesterday how he loves the high inflation. It's so amazing and terrific.
What is there to like about it?
Well, he liked it so much that he tried to rationalize it because when the war ends or the excursion ends, you'll really see the difference. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, that's not true either.
It's a guy talking out of his hat. Yeah. We already said, 2032 to get back to normal normal times as far as $70 a barrel oil. So
Mm-hmm.
we've got a ways to wait. This here is the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. We talked about this the other day. Once again, lowest level since Reagan. Since March, they've tapped 66 million barrels of oil, and they're basically doing it to manipulate us. They want to keep the sticker shock from actually going to the pumps and having it be worse than it is. But those reserves are not forever. They're selling some of it to European countries, so it's not even benefiting us other than price. Yeah, it's crazy. But at the same time, we're finding that we have an education crisis here with reading levels as lowest since 1971. And I feel like we just disregard that. You have your phone, you don't need a book. Whenever I see young people reading anymore, I find it almost noble because you just don't see it very often.
Yeah.
It increases your, vocabulary, your processing of literature, whatever. It's none of that sounds bad compared to doom scrolling, which I tend to do a fair amount.
Yeah, reading's the best.
I know you're a big reader. I remember another person that was very special to us. It would be like her happiest moment was when she got into her bed to read.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't wait to get home and get in her bed and read her book.
I know. So she was a great example, and I guess that's kind of what we grew up with. I don't. We always had books in our life, but I guess it's totally different at this point.
Yeah, we don't need books.
Yeah, we're smart enough.
Books are for losers.
Well, and again, when you have a third of the American wealth owned by 1%, we have 989 billionaires in America, most of any nation. You're not going to be the priority.
No.
Of course, their wants are always going to be at the forefront because they basically control our government. They control the politicians, and voila.
Well, because they're special. They're the chosen ones.
So they think, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what they think. They really do.
Well, and back in the day, if you won a congressional seat in D.C., you went and moved to D.C. Now, they'll say, oh, it's so expensive there. I can't move there. But the flip side is that Mullins, the Department of Homeland Security guy's flying on our $70 million government jet home every Thursday. And this guy's not even putting in a full week.
Comes
That's
back.
why
He's not taking his wife with him, right?
Oh, yeah. But that has yet to be resolved. We don't know. But yeah, so true. I did want to talk about some things that have been coming out of the New York Times, and I think it's going to continue to trickle out. Trump, minus Trump, his whole cabinet, well, not his whole cabinet, but Vance was there, Susie Wiles, Dan Bonagino, Kash Patel, Blanche, and Bondi. So your Department of Justice, your FBI, etc. And they went to the Situation Room to talk about Trump and the Epstein files. Once again, these files that mean nothing seem to have a lot of pertinent information that people don't want leaked. Trump, apparently this one was called Nipplegate. Trump was mutilating, allegedly, teens or younger children. He's just kind of a sick bastard. But they're actively working this cover-up. I don't think it's something when you have this expansive amount of people that are involved, it's something you can hide forever.
Yeah.
And it seems to be starting to percolate. And I noticed that because today you have Department of Homeland Security Mullins coming out and trying to talk about children and young girls that weren't being protected under the Biden administration. Tough sell.
I don't know that they had to be at that point. I mean, Jesus Christ. Epstein was in, he got his sweetheart deal in 2008 from Florida. So, yeah, he had friends.
Yeah.
And people looking out for him and enabling him.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of slaps on the wrist. And I think that goes to show how much involvement we have with members of our Congress.
Mm-hmm.
That seems pretty plain. But the American people in general, MAGA or not, can agree that pedophilia is not a good thing. It's not positive, even if you're saying...
A lot of the MAGA folks seem to think it's A-okay. And I mean... Just take a quick scroll through Twitter sometime and you see the mugshots of so many of these MAGA people or Republican sheriffs or Republican representatives from their states and local areas that are going to jail for pedophilia,
Yeah.
having kiddie porn. So apparently there's a percentage of those people that are A-okay with it. Why? It's just good, healthy fun. And here's a fun fact. You know who else had a nipple fetish? Ed Gein, the serial killer from Wisconsin in the 50s, the guy they based Psycho on.
Yes.
Yeah, he didn't kill a whole lot of people, but he was really into digging up bodies and taking out body parts and crafting them. Made a soup bowl out of a human skull. Apparently had a nipple thing, though. He made a nipple belt.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, made a belt from nipples. So maybe that's something Trump could bid on at the next big auction.
That is so disturbing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ed Gein was very troubled. There's no doubt.
Very troubled.
But he did stop at the point where these grave robbing incidents, he wasn't having relations with these corpses. So he's one step better than these clowns, I guess.
Well, he did have a box full of vulvas, so who knows?
Jesus.
Yeah. Just, yeah, I'm just reporting the news. That's it.
Well, and with that kind of information, we could go on and on and on.
Mhm.
But we won't. I wanted to jump to the CDC as we talked about the screwworm on Tuesday. The CDC has declared a national emergency as these cases have been spreading. Brooke Rollins comes out. She wants to blame Biden. When we came in, there were only 10 people working on this case. But, I mean, the facts are the facts. This was not a problem until Trumpy Bear came in. This was not a problem until Trump decided to start bringing in Argentinian beef, which is well known to have this issue. But hey, whatever we can do to dumb down the American public, we're all about it. Hey, here's your cheap meat. Now they can't sell that anymore. A pound of meat's $8 to $9. So now you have representatives like Dusty Johnson coming out and saying beef's an incredible value. If you compare the nutritional value of a pound of beef to a $9 bag of potato chips, wow, packs a powerful punch.
What are you paying $9 for a bag of potato chips?
I don't know, but that thing must be giant. And I think
That's giant.
That's part of the problem right there. No, this spread's starting in Texas. Every Texas House Republican voted against funding for screening and monitoring of these screwworms. So yes, let's continue to blame Biden, even though the GOP was completely against this. Yeah, it's just nuts. And then we're just going to try and shift the blame. So now Brooke Rollins comes out and has a conversation, and then she brought out Trump's original doctor, which I don't know how he fits in with the EPA at all, but he happened to be there. Just a really good liar. So maybe that's why he was there. But she talked about, we're talking to the Department of Homeland Security about maybe using their drones. And then we'll take their drones, we'll put some AI on it. Then we'll be able to scan even faster. Like, I mean, I get at a loss for words. Like, Melania came out and was talking about the AI future. She seemed like she was AI the way she talks. It's going to make all your dreams come true. It's like it's a magic pill. It's all these things in one. It's just tremendous. Now you got a screwworm problem. Hey, drones with AI technology. Like what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
But people eat it up. I guess it sounds pretty good. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, well, it's funny because if you go back like about a decade or so, the big word was digital. Digital is going to change everything. It's digital. We're going digital. David Cross did a stand-up piece about it. It was hilarious.
Well, I'm old enough to remember when Dolby came out. Okay.
Oh yeah, recorded in Dolby sound.
Yeah. Where was she then? Tell you what.
Yeah.
So you do have Lee Zeldon. Let me put him up here because he's kind of an ass as well.
Kind of.
He's just a jerk. He says they're not going to bother regulating data centers. I mean, why? These are
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah. Also, he wants to make chemical risks just go away. Not something we even want to talk about. And why would you? Am I right? I mean, it sounds risky.
Sounds risky.
To that point, The EPA does, he's the head of the EPA, and the EPA does safety tests on household chemicals and shows you the dangers of these chemicals. As more and more were coming up, they were asking the supervisors just to shrink the scenario, just shrink it a little bit more until the poison looks safe. So you're not changing, you're changing the model, you're not changing the product. Then they took senior scientists and started reassigning them to do paperwork, and then put less experienced staff on risk assessment management, because you got to learn somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention installing former chemical industry lobbyists to run these offices, which they're supposed to be regulating. Good luck with that. And then we've talked about this many months ago, in fact, with when Gene was on board, talking about some of the poorer communities where they'll put these data centers or chemical plants or anything that could have toxic, waste or expel chemicals into the air. We put them around lower income housing and such, because why wouldn't you? But now they're saying that those ones that hit certain communities harder, those are DEI studies, okay? So get rid of them, because we're not interested.
Well, I don't know if you can read this, but because it's backwards, but this is fine. It's fine. We're not checking, we're not testing. It's fine.
I just want to point out that the EPA is supposed to protect people and not profit margins. But at the same time, the Republicans slashed $125 million from fixing and replacing lead pipes. We know lead's an issue, but apparently we just don't care. Not my problem.
Yeah, you know what? I don't have lead pipes in my house.
Well, you're lucky.
Well, no, I probably do. I don't know. I'm just saying. And even if you live in a home that doesn't have lead pipes, what about the piping leading from the water source to your home?
Good point. Yeah, that's on you. You should probably check that out yourself. And
yeah, because that's what we mean by infrastructure. That's where this stuff needs to be upgraded. But people don't care. People in charge surely don't care. We had Trump's first term, we had infrastructure week.
Is that when he drove around that garbage truck?
I don't know. Did he drive around, or did he just sit in the front seat and blow the horn and pretend to be driving?
Yeah, he was blowing
like a 5-year-old.
Yeah, nothing like him in a fire truck too. Amazing. Mm-hmm. I did want to point out that in ties with the Environmental Protection Agency, you could tie that to healthcare. They're looking at the Affordable Care Act, and moving forward for next year, they want to put a new stipulation in where that if you get a diagnosis that's going to be costly or an emergency arises with your health and you can't afford it, that you should be able to take a loan from the health insurer. Of course, with interest, and you are expected to pay that back. I don't care if you've got pancreatic or something really debilitating. I want that money back, but we'll just give you a loan. We're not going to cover you with health care based on your premiums and deductible, but we will give you a loan if you're interested.
At a very affordable rate, I'm sure, a very competitive rate.
Probably going to be prime plus. I mean, they're not in the business of loaning money. They're in the business of giving health care.
Well, yeah, you could say that, but they don't really see it that way.
Well, as we mentioned the other day, more and more people just go without. Why would I take a loan? I'm a goner anyway. Why am I taking out a loan? So you can now hunt down my family for it or something?
Yeah.
I think my brother's going to pay for that? No, Just saying, it's crazy. So you take these cash-strapped customers. If they're cash-strapped to begin with, they're not getting health care, as we said. Opt out. You don't have to. They took that out of the Affordable Care Act. You don't have to have health care. You don't have to prove it anymore when you file your taxes. So why have it? We don't have a healthcare system right now.
No, we don't even have a concept of a plan for a healthcare system. Still waiting on that one.
They gutted the Affordable Care Act, and they just call it the Barack Hussein Obama healthcare. I mean, these guys are just moronic and dangerously so.
Well, they're just dicks for the sole purpose of just being dicks.
I guess they get off on that. I will say in 2021, the UN tried to declare food a human right. Two countries voted against it, and that was the U.S. and Israel. Seemed very odd, and it seemed like an odd thing to deprive people of.
Especially coming from the Holy Land.
Oh, I know. Holy for what have you done for me lately? Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of where they're at. I did want to talk about ICE really quickly because that's getting even more problematic. They're finding that a lot of pregnant girls as young as 13 are being taken to these Texas ICE facilities because they can deny them access to comprehensive care. And obviously, abortion is banned in Texas. And these children, because they are children, are starting to disappear along with their offspring.
Man.
We've already seen the story where these women are being raped by ICE personnel in these camps, because that's what they are. We just, I keep coming back to your point about the moral compass. I just don't feel like people are going to act the right way when people aren't looking, right? I mean, that's exactly it. You'll fake it if somebody's paying attention, but if they're not, you're not likely to do the right thing. And I don't even know how these, how you get these instincts to do such terrible things, especially to children.
Oh, I know. No moral compass.
So ICE has detained over 500 babies and toddlers under Trump. They average about 25 children, 3 and younger, in custody a day. I know Hamhead really liked the food, but most of these places, people are complaining that they're being fed rancid food. They're not being given any of their medications. It sounds like a nightmare, and it doesn't sound very much like our country, frankly.
Not the country we knew, that's for sure.
Or thought we knew, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's who we were the whole time.
So the biggest thing we keep talking about is coming back to voting. You have to vote. And they keep chipping away. I mean, Trump was on Fox today in the morning talking about, they were asking him about the election in LA for the mayor. He kept calling Pratt a kid. They stole it from the kid. But then I stepped in and said, count faster, and they got it done right away. The whole point of the story, they were asking about Iran, not voting, not elections. And he just went off on that. And after he kept going off, the host was like, but we were asking about Iran. And he just went on about stolen elections, how much he won by. Oh, it was a landslide in 2020. It was a landslide in 2024. Like, I'm so popular. I had 100% of the vote. It's just crazy.
He's so delusional.
He's the mouthpiece of idiocracy when it comes to voting, but his policies are really driving this to a concerning point. He wants the feds to control all of the state voting rolls. That's illegal.
Legal, yeah, it doesn't work that way.
He is now trying to institute where the United States Postal Service won't deliver mail ballots for states that don't turn over their voter lists. Illegal. So then you won't be getting your mail-in ballot regardless, because that's just another way to try and trim the voter rolls, right?
Mm-hmm.
The DOJ has also done things like canceled election rights training. They deleted the guide to prosecuting election officials, and they've refused to appoint a director of the elections crime branch. Why would you want that if you're about to try and steal an election? We don't need anybody paying attention, especially in the crime branch.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really going to be an uphill struggle. I think that it is going to cut into mail-in voting quite a bit because it's going to leave a huge gray area. Sure, there's going to be service members and such that are overseas and have to vote mail-in. Maybe a medical reason why you can't vote. That certainly makes sense. But I feel like they're going to put it on the citizens to come out. If you normally do mail-in, you're going to have to show up. You're going to have to show up at the right polling place because they're going to try and change that. You're going to have to make sure on the voting rolls long before November, and you're going to have to show up.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing it out in Albania. This is day 12. The people aren't leaving the streets. They don't want uh, Jared's blood money. They don't want those guys on their natural lands. This is their history. You just don't come in and be like, "Oh, I saw this," and the Iranian guy made a great video of his little videos he does of them Legos jumping off the boat and then going up the hill with their little bare feet because they went to the top. I mean, it was cinema.
They do a good job with those videos.
Yeah, it was amazing. And it's all theater. All of this is just made up nonsense. There's a strategic reason why they would want that island. A lot of people would have wanted it based on what you can allow to come through that strait. It's a power move. It's not about starting a second Epstein Island, though that could be a perk. Don't get me wrong.
That could be.
Because Jared is a disturbed individual, but there's bigger reasons why. So let's not pretend we're just trying to make up some kind of getaway for the rich and powerful.
Yeah, another luxury getaway because there aren't enough. They're getting kind of crowded.
Oh, when I jumped off the Rothschild boat, oh, Timmy, I got this. I mean, come on, man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But here we are. So my point is, they're coming out. We may have to get to that point too.
Well, and they're going to make it as inconvenient as possible because, they'll be, 7 o'clock, time to shut the polls. We're shutting them down. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
And that's not how that's supposed to go. And I'm sure he's going to either try and drum up some excuse to cancel them outright or send his ICE goons to all the polling places to try and keep people away. And he's going to have to show up. And, and of course, with what they've been doing in Harris County and Texas outside of Houston is closing polling spots. So you only have like one.
And you're going to be in line all day.
All fucking day. No, you can't bring water.
That was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just because you and I chose to take snacks and water to people waiting in line within, a year, that was against the law. It's crazy.
Yeah. It was crazy.
What the heck, man? That's just crazy. But it's okay for Home Depot to have facial recognition at checkouts and these flock cameras in the parking lot, which are the license plate recognition systems. So you're not going anywhere without some glims on you.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of gross. That gives me another reason to want to go to Lowe's because who needs to fill up the hoppers of Home Depot? And he's a huge trumper.
Oh, I can't believe it. Yeah.
Their owner's a douche. But it's kind of where we are. This is there are just more distractions and more stuff to enrage you as they're changing the way we live, essentially.
Yeah, and it's just it's just like the frog in the boiling water because the water's hot now. It's really hot and it's about to boil because I can only see this getting worse.
Yeah, and we really haven't gotten into as far as summer heat, how people are going to deal with that. Not only affordability of staying cool, but access to it.
Mm-hmm.
If you live by a data center and they decide that they need that energy at the time, your house is going to heat up pretty quickly. They basically control your thermostat and they have priority over you. So, go to a neighbor's house maybe, but if they're close, they're probably not going to have power either.
Yeah.
So I worry about that kind of stuff. I mean, they talk about, food and the cost of food. You're willing to pay whatever as long as you can get it. What happens when the shelves start being a little bit more scarce and affordability becomes an issue? I know groceries is a quaint term and all, but
groceries.
We all eat food. I don't even understand. Oh, groceries, the kind of food you take home. Like, is that the definition of a grocery? Like, what do you
What do you mean? Somebody doesn't bring it to you? What is that?
I know. I mean, it's just this guy's face. It's getting to be too much. I'm worried about I'm worried about how the voting's going to roll out as well.
I shit myself.
Trying really hard. Yeah, he's just not doing us a service from that chair. He surrounded himself with some of the worst people on the planet. Lutnick, again, people keep pointing out that this guy's a neighbor of Epstein. He's been to Epstein Island. He's even taken his family to Epstein Island.
Bring the kids.
And, here he is courtside next to Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, I know. Just disgusting.
It's just
I can't even watch Seinfeld anymore, the old reruns. I just can't.
It's tough. He's really turned into quite an ass himself. But
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we talked about this long ago, about how comedians generally can lead the political revolution, because we've seen it in the past. They speak truth to power. And then you get to a certain level of cash, and then you just become one of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because some of them are failing miserably.
Yeah. So it's kind of where we are. I did have a happy ending, as far as it was 9 years ago today. The Penguins beat Nashville.
Oh, wow. I can't believe it's been 9 years. Holy shit.
Won their second cup in a row, which was impressive. 9 years, yeah. And that was a great series against Nashville. That was a good team.
That really was. That was a really good series.
So that was kind of remarkable. The Stanley Cup Finals right now has been pretty impressive. Nice to see Jordan Stahl doing so well. It'd be nice to see him get a cup with his team.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
But it's been very entertaining. You and I haven't seen a ton of it, but what we have seen has been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
We've been dumb enough just to go play hockey instead of watching it. But
Yeah.
who's taping it anymore, except for one guy we know?
Don't tell me.
They still do that?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he does. He's a good egg. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to go back, especially when you know. Speaking of which, the Pirates, through all their injuries, of any of the talent that's on that roster that's out of the lineup, came back against the mighty Dodgers last night. Some guy that they got from Cincinnati hit 2 homers, kind of a big deal.
That was a really big deal.
He'll probably go hitless for a while. They would have dropped to 500, so it was really nice. It was a big win to come back against a really, really, really good team, to stay 2 games over 500. I mean, just give me and Billy some hope through, I don't know, mid-July. Something.
Yeah, there you go.
Not asking for too much here.
Stay in contention till Steeler camp opens.
Yes. And
would you do that for me?
Yeah, that would be nice. Can you do that for me?
Now.
I did see a couple things out of OTAs. They were really talking up Rodgers, just his cerebral knowledge of the game, his understanding of this offense in particular should make a big difference. And then I saw an interesting point, and I'll stop at that. But they come out and do stretching. It's always famous to me of Tomlin walking around. He'll pat each guy. He's got something to say. He's pure gold on the social side of it. But McCarthy's taking a different approach, which is he'll let the players stretch, but he keeps the coaches off the field. So once they're done with stretching, he'll bring the coaches out, because you have a time limit with the NFLPA of how long practice can be. So practice starts as soon as the coaches are on the field. But if he allows them to stretch on their own, then brings out the coaches at the beginning of practice, now the clock starts.
Interesting.
Yeah, so a lot more reps, just a lot more buttoned up. And they seem to think that they may become a club that a team that has better starts to games, seems more prepared, maybe dictates, the game, as opposed to just waiting and reacting. And I love Tomlin. This is not a knock at Tomlin. You know that. But his staff was terrible.
It was. And and how many times do we say this team just does not look buttoned up?
A lot.
Attention to those, so many of those small details, mistakes that you saw teams like Kansas City and New England never make.
For sure.
I just think, change is good.
We hated the McCarthy hire. You and I.
We did. No, we did.
Back to where I was in California, and I was super disappointed on that Saturday. I could not believe that they would pick this old retread instead of a young coordinator with the Rams or fill in the blank. But in the end, it comes down to the kind of staff that he puts together. They really like Graham, the defensive coordinator, from the Raiders. I think he's doing his due diligence in creating a staff that's going to coach these guys up, and then he can kind of oversee and be the mastermind behind it. Now, he will be running the offense, don't get me wrong. But
Oh yeah, he's going to be calling the plays.
sure, but that's a game day thing. That's a week-to-week preparation thing. But there's, the big picture is what he's allowed to oversee because he has competent people doing the other work. It's
Yeah,
important.
well, and I like that they've got a chief of staff who's in charge of doing whatever it is to keep the staff organized and on the same page with things. New England had a guy like that. If you ever watch any of the podcast with Gronk and Julian Edelman, they'll talk about that guy. He was, Bill Belichick's chief of staff. And I think it was just a good move on their part. I think, they've got a little bit of a bigger staff. And, you've actually got a head coach who's going to be involved with the offense. Instead of just taking a right turn and going down to the defensive meeting rooms, he's going to be in there working with the quarterbacks, hands-on. So I think that's going to make a big difference too.
And to your point, the biggest staff they've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, the equipment the equipment budget counts against the cap as well. So I don't know if that was a Rooney thing or a Tomlin thing to keep that staff so small for cash purposes, but you get what you pay for, and the product just wasn't there. We were out last night, and we had a younger gentleman giving us a hard time. His Raiders were being picked on, so he would talk about, Pittsburgh makes the playoffs, but they never win. That was the last time he won a playoff game. And that is the reality. I mean, again, huge Tomlin fan, but change can be good, and it was necessary in this instance, I believe.
I would agree. Yeah. And it got old, man. Yeah. It was the same pattern, rinse and repeat, creep into the playoffs, go right out. Grand opening, grand closing.
And again, you don't have much time to prepare that week for playoff week. And it showed week in and week out. It showed. I mean, you can go back to that Cleveland debacle with the bad snap, and then, Ben trying to go pick it up or fall on it or whatever he was doing. Like, that was not a team that was prepared to play.
Yeah, that was bad.
And again, we know every team's pretty talented, but a coordinator with a lousy game plan kills the team. You lose. You're not going to win. It's just not effective. So,
well, it's, those small details add up.
For sure. So, hoping for good things. I wasn't a fan of Rodgers coming back either, but if he's the 15th best receiver or quarterback out of 32, that's better than an unknown rookie, I guess. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, we've seen some of the video of Mason Rudolph's arm, and it doesn't look that great.
Throwing balloon balls out there. We love Mason, but please don't start.
Yeah, please.
Anyway, I will let you go today. Hopefully I was a little bit faster today. Kind of on par with it, but just some recaps. No Kings is this Sunday. Please get out, find one local to your community, just to show your support, even if you just want to come and look at the funny signs and support the masses as a whole, because we're all in this. You may be at a different pay grade, but they're coming for all of us. So
unless you're in the club, and you're not in their club. So
George Carlin.
Yep.
So be aware, and it might be a fun thing to participate in. So look into it. They're everywhere. They're in every city, and every community generally has a get together. So
and you'll have a good time. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah. Vern had mentioned Festus. I'm going to be looking for downtown. So get out.
It'll be downtown,
and show some support to your fellow citizens that are getting hammered out here. So anyway, any happy ending for you, Billy, or just the football talk was enough?
Football talk was enough.
All right.
It was good.
We'll work on it. Well, maybe I'll catch you later. But again, I always appreciate your time and catching up with you in general.
Oh, you too. So
well,
nice job.
You as well. And I'll catch up with you a little bit later. All right. You have a good day. All right. See ya.